Welcome to Buy, Hold, Sell, brought to you by Livewire Markets. My name's James Marlay and I'm joined by Matthew Haupt from Wilson Asset Management and Scott Olsson from Firetrail. And today we are going to rank the banks. But before we do, and find out what the boys think about the big four in Australia, I've got a bit of trivia for you and for them. So, over the year to date, Matt, which of the banks has been the best performer? Best and worst year to date?
Geez, I'm going to go best CBA, worst Westpac.
All right. Scott, your turn.
I'm actually going to flip those two. I think best Westpac and worst CBA.
Well, Scott, 1 point for you. Ding, ding. Over a 3 year, same question. Best and worst over a 3 year period.
I'm just going to stick with the same.
Yep. Well, if you were to flip it, that's absolutely right.
Yeah, I think the same. Yeah, CBA the best, Westpac the worst.
Yeah, interesting. CBA up 34% over the past 3 years. And in fact, it's the only one of the big four banks that is in the black. The rest of them all still in negative territory on the capital front. So let's find out where they're going to go going forward. That's the past. Matt, number one in the banks, if you had to pick number one pick, what would it be and why?
It'd be National Australia Bank. Done a lot of work in the background, pulled out costs, reduced products, straight through processing. All that hard work has been done and we're starting to see the signs of that hard work coming through the results. Probably in the last month or two of their result, very encouraging signs. So NAB for me is a clear winner in the Aussie banks.
Okay. Scott, your number one pick out of the big four. Can you give me the pitch and tell me why you like it?
Sure. It's also NAB for the reasons that Matt outlined. But alongside that as well, I think what they're doing on costs, they're not short-terming the business. I think they're investing enough alongside pulling out costs, so that should enable them to take advantage of some revenue opportunities. And the business environment finally looks like there might be a bit of growth coming out of that, which is where NAB really plays and does its best work.
Okay, if we're going to flip it round, what's your last or your least favoured out of the big four banks, and what is it that's put it on the nose?
It's Westpac for me. That one, the big cost program is out there. I think they're doing the right things, but very difficult to remediate your business and then streamline your business while you've got competitors that are kind of going at 100 miles an hour. CBA is still investing for growth. I think if they achieve that number, there's a bit of revenue pressure that will come with it. And I don't think that is really in market expectations at the moment. So it's Westpac for us. Okay.
Same question for you, Matt. What's the laggard in the banking sector? What's the one that doesn't set you on fire?
Again, it's Westpac. You look at, like Scott mentioned, the cost target and the amount of disruption that will cause within the organisation. I just don't see how that doesn't hit revenue opportunities and the talent within the organisation to stay motivated. Incredibly tough, I think, that journey. If they get there, full credit, but again, coming out to announce a big cost out, incredibly unsettling.
If we're to step outside of the banking sector, you've given us your best and worst from the big four. If you had a number one pick more broadly in a sector that represents about 30% of the big end of the market, what's a top idea in the financials? Yeah,
the one I like at the moment is Challenger. So Challenger is trading at a discount to book value. A few credibility issues. They had guidance out in the market, then missed that badly through some events they say is external to them. But at the moment, discount to book, and that event which caused a downgrade, I think could unwind, and that will come off the back of yield curve control if the RBA walk away from that 3 year yield curve control, and you get some normality back in credit markets and credit spreads. So that could actually turn to a tailwind, which was a headwind. And then the funds management business, ideally it would be spun out into a new vehicle or realised value there. So I think Challenger looks incredibly good value at this point.
Okay, Scott, same question for you. Cast your eye a little bit broader beyond the big banks. You got something nice in the financials?
Sure, it's beyond the big banks, but it's still a bank. Virgin Money UK, obviously a UK bank. And I think when you're buying Virgin Money, you're really getting the thematics that are driving the Aussie banks at the moment. You're getting unwind of COVID provisions, economic recovery. And one differentiator is where I think margins are going down from here for the major banks. I think they are going up for Virgin. They've just increased their guidance. Take all that into account, you're getting it at a 30% discount to tangible book. You're paying 60% premium for the Aussie majors. So I much rather would be playing overseas at the moment in the banks.
Okay. Great. Well, our two guests has given you their best and worst from the big banks. They've also come to the table with a bit of value in the financial sector. And remember, if you enjoyed that episode, hit subscribe on the YouTube channel. We're updating our Livewire Markets YouTube channel with fresh videos every week.